Hello friends, I hope everybody's doing well. Our next project is going to be this Gravely trailer. Um, this is the trailer I got with the 54 Gravely purchase, and it has a few issues. And the first issue is it has a flat tire. Much to my surprise, it has a tubeless tire on it. I don't know if the other side does too, but this tire here, I put some air in it and it went flat pretty much right away. So I don't know if it has a rim leak or not, but we're not going to worry about the rim leak because we're using a tube. Okay, so the first thing I did was I removed this big cotter pin and washer here. I don't have a tire machine, so when I switch tires around, like on the sulky or this trailer for instance, I just leave the wheel on the trailer and work on it that way, because I really have no other way of supporting it. So it works pretty good for me. We'll see what happens today with it. Your first tool that you're going to want to have on hand is penetrating oil, WD-40. There's probably enough left in the can to do this job, but I have some PB Blaster on standby. And you're also going to need your pliers here that I use to take the cotter pin out. Hammer, of course. A couple of pry bars. I have this one here. So we're going to begin by breaking the bead down on both sides, on either side here. Well, the very first thing I'm going to do is remove the core here. Especially if you have a tire with a tube in it, you want to get as much air out of the tube as you can. In this case it probably wouldn't matter, but I'm still going to take the valve core out anyway, and I'll probably just save this core for something else along the way. So okay, so let's get started. I'll set the camera up the best that I could, and we'll start breaking the bead down. Okay, so I'm going to try to not be in your way while we do this. So first thing I'm going to do is just spray some WD around. And of course we'll do the same with the other side. Just let that soak in some. And then we'll start off with this little pry bar here. I'll probably show you just on this one side here, and then when I flip the tire upside down and break the other part of the bead down, I probably won't do that on air. What you want to do is just keep going all the way around the rim to start breaking it down. And then hopefully eventually it'll just come apart from the rim. Some of you guys have little tire machines, you know, bead breakers. You can break the bead down easy. But I have to do it the old-fashioned way here. So what I'm going to do is, as I keep prying it down, I'm going to just keep spraying some spray in here. because that always seems to help pretty good. God knows how many years it's been since this tire was broken down. Alright, I'm just going to do a little bit more off camera here. Okay, so I kept doing what I said I was going to do. I kept on hitting the pry bar in and spraying WD. Now I'm able to hit this pry bar against the whole width of the bead here. So I'm hoping now I could just take the screwdriver and just keep on doing the same thing all the way around, and then we'll break the bead. And then, like I said, I'll reverse the tire, I'll put it upside down, and I'll just do that without being on camera. Don't get me wrong, this is time consuming here. It's really not an easy task here. I'm just going to keep spraying as I go along here too. Don't be afraid to load it with WD, because it's a big help usually. Let's see if I can use this other little pry bar here too in the meantime. Yes, indeed, it is a pain, but it's the only way I can do it. Sometimes they come apart a lot easier than this, but not always. It's always going to fight you some. A little more spray. This one's really tough. Okay, I'm just gonna keep on working that around because now, like I said, I'm able to hit the pry bar into the whole width of the bead in here. Just keep on going around like that, and it should pop soon. Well, this is the hardest one I ever did. I don't know if somebody might have put fix-a-flat in there or something, but the bead is really stuck to the outer part of the rim. What I was thinking, which I don't have, is one of those, it's like a thick chisel that you use for like carpentry and stuff like that. I don't have anything like that, you know. Maybe if I was able to wedge something in there, like I'm trying to use double pry bars. I even found this blade. It's pretty thick, and I've been trying to run this in there too, and this thing just won't break loose. And I can imagine the other side will probably be the same way. So I'm going to see if I can figure something out for this. I know I'm not going to buy a chisel, that's for sure. But let me see if I can figure something out for this, and I'll get back to you again. Okay, now I'm using the screwdriver in between here, and I'm hitting the screwdriver from here going around. But I think I'm wrecking the bead. I'm pretty sure I'm wrecking the bead here. So I'm gonna have to see what happens. I'll see if I can break this down the way I'm doing it, and then I'll try to do the other side, and we'll see where we stand. I know I have other tires like this, so we might have to change the tire out. Except the only problem is the tire's buried all the way in the back of the storage here. So I don't know if I'll be able to get to it. So let's just see what happens for now. Okay, this side wasn't too bad here. What I did with this is I just kept on running this around the pry bar with the hammer, and then I went this way with it all the way around against the rim, and now I'm just sticking this in the side. See, it broke loose already, but finally what I did was I just did that. I just pried down on it, hit it with the hammer, and it broke loose. Why the other side won't break loose like this, I don't know, but I'm going to try to, which is pretty much impossible to do. I'm going to try to work this out because the other side's still not broke down yet. And I'm probably not going to be able to do what I'd like to do here. So I'd like to get this tire up over the lip here and see if we can work on the other side some more. This has really been really bad. I never had one this bad before. So I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm just going to flip it around and see if I can get this to break loose. I never had a bead stuck like this all the way around here. So I'm going to try that technique again that I did before. And I sprayed a lot of penetrating oil in here. I'll try to do that all the way around. So to save your ears and save some time on the video, I'm just going to go ahead and see if I could do that right now. Okay, so it's 2 hours later, believe it or not. I was able to break the other side, you know, the front part loose, doing that method I did with the pry bar. You know, I could have easily moved some stuff around. I already have a sulky wheel and tire. Yeah, I mean the tire's already on the rim, and I could have just changed it out. But I like to fix stuff, you know, this way. I mean, I did get pretty close to doing that, but I figured let me just go ahead and see if I can get it apart. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to break the tire apart here, and I think I'll have to cut this valve out. And it looks to me, looking at the inside, it looks to me like somebody did use fix-a-flat in this. For some reason it's stuck real good on the outside here, but on the inside I was able to break that down, you know, fairly quick, you know, after a whole bunch of cursing and everything. But I'm glad you missed. I think there was more cursing involved than work here with this. So let me see if I could just get this here to come off. I really should have got a third screwdriver here for this. Let me see if I can get a bit better bite somewhere else here. This tire is pretty split. That's probably why it was leaking, but I'm going to throw the tube in it and see if we can get away with using this one for now. Not to mention how much my hands hurt right now from doing this. My hands are killing me from beating and banging. Okay, what I want to do is, oh, this is a mess. I'm going to have to take the tire all the way off here. There's a whole bunch of rusting crap in here. Even though we're putting a tube in here, I should really get all this off here. I'm ready to go to bed already. Okay, we got that off. See if I can show you what's in here. You can see a whole bunch of rust in there if you could see it. So I'm going to shake everything out, cut the valve off, clean up the inner part of the rim as good as I can, and then we'll commence putting it back together. I don't know if I even showed you the tire tube I bought. I bought this from Tractor Supply, and it was like 10 bucks. So we're gonna go to install this. It's a 400/480-8. The tractor takes the same size tube. Be right back in a minute. Alright, so you want to make sure you put this tube in the right way. Let me make sure I got the camera facing the right way there. I'll show you this way, I guess. You have to have the valve like facing up towards you before you install it. So let's go ahead and see if we can weasel this tube in here without any more problems today. I have segments of video I have to put together. I don't know how long this video is going to be. So we're most likely going to leave this project at part 1, just doing the tire here, because I don't want this to be a 2 or 3 hour video. Maybe I'll just discuss quick what else we have to do. So I want to get this valve so it's lined up with the hole where it has to come up through the hole in the rim. So we want to line that up as good as possible. And then we're going to take our valve removal tool and I'm going to screw it onto the valve so the valve doesn't get sucked in. I'll show you that in a minute if I could ever get this tube back in here. Sorry guys, my fingers are killing me. Okay, so now I gotta find the valve in here. And there it is. It's coming up through. So let me get that tool here. Like this side of the tool here is to remove the core. And this side here, we're going to screw onto the valve so the valve doesn't get sucked in when we go to put the tire back on the rim here. I think a good idea is to get the needle nose pliers too. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm just going to screw this on here so our valve doesn't get sucked in. And we're going to do the same thing after I mount the tire on there. I'm going to hold the valve with these needle nose pliers while we're putting the air in so the valve doesn't get sucked back in. So you want to make sure you have your tube pretty far down in here, because the last thing you want to do is pinch your tube with the screwdrivers, because you're going to have to put the tire back on the rim here. So what I do is I just try to grab the very edge of the rim here. Let me do it this way and stay away from the valve. Tire's as hard as a rock. This really needs a new tire, but should use 3 screwdrivers here. It would be nice if you had another pair of hands to help you do this. That would be ideal, the ideal way to do this, because this is a real pain by yourself, especially the condition that my hands are in right now. Guys, I'm going to have to put you on pause a minute. Rest my hands and my arms a second. Okay, I got it started, but let's see if everything stays. So I'm going to use my stomach here to hold this one screwdriver. And I'm just going to work my way around. And you got to be careful you don't pinch the tube. Because if you pinch the tube, then you're screwed. That's why you want to push the tube as far down as you can into the tire here. This is a real pain. Hopefully this screwdriver will stay. Now I just hold that with my stomach. I just keep on running this on there. I think we should be alright now. I just leave that in there for moral support. And we'll just take this screwdriver here and pop it in the rest of the way. If we could get in there. Oof, what a pain. There we go, we got it. I hope I didn't hit you in the head with the screwdriver. Okay, now we'll air it up and hope that everything's alright. I'm hoping that the valve's going to come out straight after we air it up. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to grab hold of the valve with the needle nose here, and then we could unscrew this other valve core remover tool. I think I put 15 pounds of air in these tires. I'm not sure, I forget. I have to look at the sidewall here, see what it takes. Whatever you do, hang on to the valve for dear life. You don't want to let go, then you're screwed. Okay, so the valve is in there pretty straight. What I do is I overfill it a little bit, let the tube seat, and then I'll let some air back out, and we'll adjust it to what did I say, about 15 pounds I think I put in it generally. So I'll put the first washer back on, I'll put the second washer on and the cotter pin in. I'll just let this sit like this for a while and then I'll let some air out, because I'm pretty sure there's too much air in it already. I want to just show you one more thing. The valve cap it comes with, it's actually a valve core remover too on that one end. That's a pretty good idea. Does it work good? Yeah, it works good. So, okay, I'm going to put you on pause for 1 second and then we'll discuss the rest. Okay, so I put our washer on first, then I put the outer washer on and I put this big cotter pin. And I set the air pressure to 15. I think it's supposed to be 20 or 22, but being that these tires are so shot on all the Graveleys, I usually just put like 15 pounds in. Okay, so I took it I couldn't resist taking it for a little ride. The tire's holding up pretty good, and I have my homemade trailer hitch that I put on here, so you don't have to have the attachment on the front. It resembles the roller rest that you're supposed to use. And my main concern before was I thought the handlebars might have been too close to the trailer, but I took it for a ride and it seems to be okay. So I guess I don't have to ask you guys anything about that. And another thing is I have this 2-inch, which is kind of thick. I do have a piece of 3/4 inch that I think I might cut out to make the seat. I already bought the carriage bolt, nuts and bolts for it when I went to Tractor Supply to buy the tube. So, I don't know, I may make a video on cutting the wood and mounting that on. For this year, I'm just going to leave the trailer alone. You know, I'm not going to paint it or anything like that. Because, like I said, my other tag-along trailer went with the 62 Gravely, and I'm going to need the trailer. I have to cut some overgrown stuff that's growing over the fence around the property here. It's a pretty big property, so I really need the trailer. So, I don't know, I hope you enjoyed this. It wasn't really worth the trouble of putting the tube in, but I did it anyway because I like to fix what I have. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.